Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me, as always, flying too close to the sun,
Erik Icarus.
Woo, brother! Well, as has been kind of tradition here for the last 5 weeks, guys, we got to talk about Game of Thrones.
It's almost over, folks.
I was not as down on it as my co-host and friend here, but I take it you didn't like it.
I did not care for it.
All right.
Well, we didn't watch it together.
We did not.
Honestly, I just everything feels so rushed.
Oh yeah.
They're just like, oh, we got to get this done. So anticlimactic. Every fight for me was anticlimactic.
Okay.
Starting with let's kind of maybe I'm going to go a little backwards. Starting with Cersei's death.
Okay.
Anticlimactic.
Okay.
Hound and Mountain. Anticlimactic. Euron and Jaime fight. Anticlimactic. Everything was just. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words right now, man.
Okay.
Yeah, what did you like about it?
So
try to give me something you liked, and maybe I'll be like, okay.
So disclaimer.
Maybe I like that. Spoilers,
Disclaimer.
by the way.
And
Oh yeah, we should have said that earlier. Sorry.
But disclaimer: Eric and I have not spoken about the episode at all because I knew after I watched it, Eric did not like it. I knew it. And I'm going to try to turn him around. I'm going to try to do it for you guys, for the Thrones fans, and I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm not blown away by anything this season. It has its moments for sure, but this was probably my favorite episode of the season, and I still was disappointed in it. Okay, I will preface that. I'm going to disagree with you on a couple of your points there.
Okay.
I thought everything that had to do with the Hound in this episode was amazing.
Up into the fight. You're right.
I liked the fight. Because I can tell you, I think this is why I liked it so much. Big guys aren't going to be jumping around. They're not going to be flipping around. I felt like it was hard hitting. But there was a moment where some rubble came down before the fight started, and I thought we weren't going to get the fight. I literally stood up, and it was, I was after work. It was like 1 a.m, and I was like, hell no, verbally in my house. And then it cut back, and then the fight kind of started.
Right.
I enjoyed it. I loved seeing the Mountain, kill Pycelle or the Meister, the Hand of the Queen, and then just ignore Cersei. I loved that.
That was pretty cool.
I loved that. I liked how the dragon fight had kind of opened up the Red Keep so we could see outside.
Right.
Everything just kind of coming down around him. And for a fact, Sandor's not getting out of there.
No. Well, that way, I mean, to its credit, I did enjoy the symbolism of them dying in fire. Because, he held the Hound's face to fire. So that was kind of cool, but I don't know, man. I just expecting it to be a little more visceral. Mm-hmm. Just going back to how these guys fight. Yeah. How they've killed people. Yeah. It was a little tame. It was a little tame for me, man.
I did not feel it. I felt like it was hard hitting. He had that armor on, and the Hound is just giving it to him, and just nothing's happening.
Right.
And then when he is able to pierce flesh, it's just like, dude, this guy doesn't feel things.
Exactly. He's a zombie.
Yeah.
Essentially. So he's not really fighting his brother anyway. So it's kind of a cop out.
Because essentially, I guess in the it's my understanding in the books they straight up call that Meister a necromancer.
So he raises the dead, basically.
And maybe he doesn't raise the dead, but he can kind of make them,
halfway between.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was very satisfied by the fight. I thought it was what I wanted. I don't know. It met the criteria that I needed. I thought it was cool in the staircase. It looked really cool. Him stabbing the Mountain through his eye and out his head was very cool because a lot of the foreshadowing that we had seen in previous seasons really did come to fruition here. Arya tells the Hound she's going to put a knife through his eye and out the back of his head.
That's true.
She threatens him that way.
That's true.
So that was kind of cool to kind of get that.
Right.
And yeah, I thought the fight went on long enough. I don't know what were you expecting from the fight?
I'm one of those people that are like, I don't know what I wanted, but I'll know it when I see it.
Sure.
And that wasn't it.
Yeah.
Again, I love the Hound's moments with Arya. telling her to go away.
Yes.
Or you're going to be me,
Yes.
basically. That was cool.
That was great.
Really cool, man.
That was great. And yet another kind of flashback moment. When King's Landing is being ransacked at the Battle of Blackwater, the Hound's trying to rescue Sansa.
Right.
And he says, if you stay here, you'll die.
And
he tells Arya the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these moments in this episode that made me really enjoy this episode. Okay. And I like it when she says Sandor, and he turns. Because in her book, his name was written as the Hound.
Right.
So she addressed him as a man.
Right, so now he's off the list.
Yes. So I thought that was it was a great way to give him peace before, because he knows.
Oh yeah,
he can't even be happy. He had beautiful women throwing themselves at him as a hero at the Battle of Winterfell. Right. And he doesn't care.
Right.
He does not want it.
He's a man who found peace at one point.
Yeah.
And then those
raiders or whatever
come in,
they were part of the Brotherhood,
right.
And they kind of defect and do what they're not supposed to. Yeah.
So, he can't find peace, and it's good to see him go out doing what he loves, killing people.
Killing the mountain.
Yeah, there you go.
It was nice for him to get that feeling.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? Oh, the Euron Greyjoy versus Jaime Lannister fight. It's completely unnecessary, and it was nothing but sugar, and I was happy to have it.
Yeah.
I was happy to have it because I was like, when Jaime goes, to that cave, and then Euron's there, I'm like, why are you there? Like,
was he waiting for him?
Yeah, it made no sense.
It made no sense.
I thought that the fight was good. It's as good as you're gonna get with a one-hand person.
Sure.
I thought it was brutal. Like
right.
the stabs are really good.
Right.
It felt like a good way. It felt like something for Jaime.
So for me, I didn't like it because it felt forced.
Oh, it was completely forced.
That's why I didn't like it. It had no point on. They had no real history together.
No. Yeah.
So it's like, wait a minute, why are we? This shouldn't even be part of a final battle.
Yeah.
And I get, you have to give Jaime something to do, but just make him talk to Cersei.
Yeah.
And that should be his final battle, quote unquote, not fighting some sailor. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense, but I liked the fight itself. Like, if you just showed me that fight on YouTube, I would really. It was cool.
It was the best fight in the show, or the episode rather, arguably. So I'll give you that. Yeah. So. Let's see, what else did Cersei's death that wasn't brutal enough for me.
She deserved worse.
I hate how they're trying to make me sympathize with her at the end. Like, no, don't give me that.
She should have been this house down.
She should have been a jerk to the end.
Yeah,
to the end.
Yeah,
that should have showed that's who she is through and through.
Doesn't matter. She's not a redeemable person. She's she's just this terrible, terrible woman. However, if you think back early on, I do feel for Cersei at the beginning to an extent.
Sure.
She's in a loveless marriage. She was just kind of married off to Robert.
Oh, basically, yeah, for sure.
She loved her children. They're all dead. She deserves to feel the way she does.
Right.
But at the end of the day, she was a mother trying to protect her family, and it just went completely wrong.
Right.
She did it the wrong way because, she's a terrible person.
She was vying for power through her children.
Yeah.
And, you got to remember a few seasons ago when it was slipping. Yeah. She essentially drove her son to suicide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I wish she would have just held on to that cold-hearted jerk that she was.
I would have liked fisticuffs between her and Daenerys.
Sure.
And I would have liked the crazy moment to be, Jaime be like, she's carrying my child, and then Daenerys stabs her in the belly or something.
There we go.
What happened to House Stark
the
hands of the Lannisters.
There we go.
See? And that would have been interesting and still out of character for Daenerys because I don't.
Well, apparently she's already. That's another thing. What is this?
Go ahead.
Turnaround. It makes no sense to me. We haven't help you. As an audience, we haven't earned that. Mm-hmm. We haven't earned her turnaround.
Yeah.
Like this. It's all. I mean, I get that she's lost her army. She's lost 2 of her children. Her, dragons or whatever.
Not just that. Everybody that she loves and trusts. The only person that she has that she can trust is Grey Worm.
Yeah.
So all of her friends are gone. All of the people from Marine are gone.
Sure.
I really enjoyed that moment with her and Jon, and it actually made me. It choked me up a bit when she's like, it's going to be fear or love. And then John's like, I love you. And then he kind of pulls away when she kisses him. And I just felt so bad. I want Daenerys to have the throne so bad up until this episode, and I was telling Eric about this earlier.
Yeah.
There's a meme online that pertains to a lot of like sad stories,
Right.
stories with sad endings, and it says basically, if you wanted a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
Sure, yeah, I'm all about that.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm that person. I have not been paying attention, and I feel so bad for Daenerys because at the end of the day, she was supposed to be better than the rest of them.
Sure.
And we know Jon is for sure, but she was supposed to be, and she's really tried. I mean, this is a woman who didn't want the people to volunteer for those gladiatorial events in Marine.
Right.
And, she was really trying to help people. So her kind of turn when she agrees to Tyrion, like, hey, if the bells sound, I'm not going to kill anybody. And then she kills not just Cersei, but like everybody. I didn't like the length of it.
Right.
How long it was going on. I was like, Jesus, like how much fire do these dragons have?
I know, right?
Like she's just like, drive by, drive by. And I didn't like that because I feel bad for Daenerys, and because she's right up until that moment.
Yeah.
And but there we go, another foreshadowing things. Her father's last words were burn them all.
Right.
And so she's burning them all.
That's right.
And then you start to see the what do they call it? The wildfire, the green fire.
Yeah, the wildfire.
You start to see like those stalks like blowing up, and you're
right.
like, oh wow, like there was still a bunch more in the city.
King's Landing is going to be a crater now.
It is going to be a crater.
So the throne's gone essentially. I mean, you killed all the inhabitants basically.
So remember way back in probably season 3, maybe 4, when Daenerys has that vision of the Iron Throne and it's like snowing and like the walls are blown out.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's not snow and maybe it's ash.
Aha.
Hey,
okay. Yeah, makes sense.
I'm gonna get you there.
I like that.
Okay?
All right. Okay. That's cool.
I did not like Daenerys' turn so drastic.
This should have started last season.
Yes.
If they were gonna do it.
It felt like when this episode ended, we still had a whole season to watch.
Right.
This could have been a season finale.
Easily.
And then Jon having to deal with it the next season.
Right.
And then it becomes a Game of Thrones between the House Targaryen.
Yeah, there we go.
But
that would have been a cool way to end it.
Yeah. So I was not into that. What did you think about Varys?
Oh,
Varys.
When she killed him?
Yeah. She killed him. She, the way he was acting and everything.
Well, I mean, I like him as a character.
I really like Lord Varys.
But it was his time to go.
It was?
It was his time to go. Maybe pushed her a little more into her madness, I guess. Yeah. But I don't know. At this point, I feel like it's like, okay, we've got to start getting rid of some of these characters. Yeah. And that's all it felt like to me. That's all it felt like to me, man.
Last season, I believe, Daenerys tells Varys, if you ever betray me, I'll burn you alive.
Right.
So, she did say that she would do that.
Yeah.
And Varys straight betrays her. One of my favorite moments is us seeing Varys writing those letters.
Oh, right.
Because arguably my favorite character of the entire show is Ned Stark.
Oh, yeah.
And remember when Ned is writing the letters to Stannis Baratheon, telling him that Joffrey is not the true heir.
Right.
So we had, again, more foreshadowing from the first season.
Yeah.
And I really like that. Now, we see several, at least 4 of those notes. I enjoyed that part of it, and we know that at least some of them got out. He's obviously writing the Lords of Westeros.
Oh, sure.
To some extent.
Yeah.
Whether it's Dorne or, whatever's left of Highgarden people or whatever. And I love that scene where he's like writing, later on we see him writing twice.
Right.
He's writing again and he starts hearing them marching. And he starts taking off his jewelry.
Oh.
But why is he taking off his jewelry?
I don't know.
Let me tell you what
Okay.
I think Varys is poisoning Daenerys. And I think Varys has been poisoning kings for quite some time. And
okay. I think I'm... Oh, wow.
Okay, you've got one episode to make this work, guys. You've got one episode to make this work. Because remember when he's talking to the little girl? Like, if she's just watching the queen, like, what's the issue?
Right.
But she's like, she won't eat. He goes, we'll try again tomorrow.
Oh, God. Because, he's got little birds everywhere, man.
He's got birds everywhere. And he says, I have no more kings and queens than anybody alive. It would be interesting if Varys was poisoning the Mad King as well, because he wanted Rhaegar to be king. Because like Daenerys says, oh, I heard that Rhaegar was good. He would give money to the poor, and he would do this stuff. And it's like, Varys, being the kind of master of whispers behind the scene, is influencing who's on the throne at all times.
Man.
So when he takes off one of his rings, it looks like they're missing jewels. Where have we seen jeweled poison before? Orlena, when she poisoned Joffrey, she pulls it from Sansa's necklace.
Right.
So either A, he was going to poison her to kill her to put Jon on the throne.
Right.
Or B, he's been poisoning her because he thinks Jon should be on the throne.
Right.
And she stopped eating, and instead of it killing her, it made her crazy. And I haven't been able to vet this, but I feel like Jaime or somebody else was talking about the Mad King leading up to his demise, and that he had stopped eating and he had become increasingly more paranoid and stuff like that.
Wow.
I have a memory of that, guys. I couldn't find it, and maybe I made that up, but it sounded really familiar in my head.
Right.
The internet also believes that Varys, it is a conspiracy online, that Varys has been poisoning Daenerys.
Wow.
So that would be interesting, and that would explain a lot, and it would make that episode even better.
I could,
you open up
forgive some things.
Yes, you open up the next episode, and you have, maybe that last letter or one of the letters that he was writing is like he was talking about trying to get her out of power.
Right.
Something like that.
Right.
So we can kind of reconcile her change.
Yeah.
I never watched the previews for the next week, so I don't know what
I didn't see it either.
Is supposed to be. But did you hear about the big mistake that they did? Like another editing mistake?
Was that another coffee cup, or what was it this time?
Arguably worse.
What's going on here?
When Jaime and Cersei are having their final moment.
Right.
Jaime.
Oh, he uses his other hand.
He uses his real left hand or right hand, whatever it was. Like, he doesn't have like the gold. It's like his regular hand.
Man.
Yeah, it was like so stupid.
No.
It's like, dude, who's getting paid to do this?
See what I'm saying? It's just rushed. It's so
rushed. It is very rushed.
And I feel bad because you could tell that they put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
A lot of work, and it seems like it's editing mistakes and just little crap like that, and the writing is terrible.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend of the show, Andy, and because he loved it, obviously. He loved it.
Man, I cannot wait for this roundtable.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to get ganged up on, but it's okay because I want to see why they like it.
I do too.
I want to see what is there that I'm missing.
Yeah. I can see the forest for the trees, and I'm fine with that. I agree with you that there is tons of disappointment in this season as we've really hit home.
Right.
But man, I tell you, if this Varys thing ends up being a thing,
it'd be kind of cool.
It would make it at least
bearable.
Put a salve on it.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, if this doesn't end like the last image of this show or scene of the show doesn't end with Jon Snow and Daenerys going at it with each other, making love to each other, and then what's Gilly's husband's name?
Sam.
Sam, and Sam's kids climbing up and sees him, and then Jon pushes him out the window. Says, "These are the things I do for love."
Oh my
See,
God.
that's how I want it to end. But anyway,
I don't know, man. It's gonna end with Sam coming all jacked from the Meister capital and killing Daenerys for House Tully.
I invented a Bowflex.
Valyrian steel.
So, I guess time will tell on your theory, but that'll make things better for me.
Here's my happy ending theory.
Okay.
Here's what I want.
Okay.
I want Daenerys to have been under the influence, and I want her to kind of snap out of it and realize what she's done.
Okay.
And in doing so, she tells Jon that I need to be executed. A queen doesn't do this.
Right.
And you are the rightful king. Jon agrees to do so, but he agrees to do so by fire.
Oh, so she doesn't really
because that's a myth compared to everybody else. Very few people know that.
Exactly.
So it would be interesting if Varys set this up to where he lets Jon know via letter she's unburnable.
Right.
And I've been doing this. So she can't be queen because she's not fit. But maybe there's a way to get her out. And Jon burns her. She gets away because people are like, oh shit, she's on fire. To put his rightful claim to the throne.
Right.
They set Tyrion has set up for her to be taken out.
Right.
To taken up north.
Right.
Jon vacates the throne because he doesn't want it, and he convinces Westeros. Tyrion here was trying to get all of this done peacefully.
Right.
Tyrion cares about the people of Westeros.
Very much so.
And he names, since he would be hand of the queen, he would then be next in line to be King Regent.
Yep, there you go.
King of the realm.
Yep.
And then Jon agrees to be Warden of the North so that he can be with Daenerys.
There you go. Okay.
But
that would be a happy ending.
There's my happy ending for everybody. It's not going to happen because, again, if you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
You know, that's the thing. I was really thinking this show was going to give me that happy ending because it wouldn't be predictable.
It wouldn't.
Because it's been so sad and awful. Like, not awful, but, it just mean-spirited almost.
Yeah. It's like old Roman Greek times.
Yeah.
It's when Daenerys in season 7 is talking to Jon, she says, I've been kidnapped, I've been sold, I've been burnt, I have been raped, and she's like, my faith is what's kept me, and my faith in me and what I can do, and blah blah blah. And you know what? At the end of the day, I would like there to be some happiness in the realm. But it's just not going to happen.
Right.
I think more realistically what's going to happen is Jon is going to execute Daenerys by beheading her to kind of close that loop, because the first time we see Ned Stark, he's beheading a Night's Watchman that had run away.
Yeah.
And I think more realistically, Jon will have to behead Daenerys.
There we go.
And then be forced to take his rightful place on the throne.
Right.
Sansa's Warden of the North. It is.
Yeah, the one person I didn't want to make it out was her.
Yeah, I'm just not a Sansa fan.
I'm not either.
I'm not a Sophie Turner fan. I don't think she's a very good actress.
I think she did okay during the Ramsay stuff.
She was best during that.
And that was
really
like, okay,
did flex
cool.
on that.
But then that's it.
Yeah, it wasn't really my jam.
No. But I guess we will meet back here next week and we will see what happens.
Yep, we may just do a episode recap and then do a further roundtable later with more people. So we got 2 more Thrones episodes, guys, so bear with us.
It'll be worth it.
It'll be worth it.
The last roundtable will be a lot of fun.
Next up, we have a new trailer for the Batman Hush animated film debuted. What did you think?
It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks really. Every one of those DC movies, animated movies, are amazing.
Yeah, they're all pretty good.
DC has cornered the animated market.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Animated market and comic book market.
I even didn't mind Killing Joke. I know a lot of people didn't care for it.
I liked it a lot.
There were parts of it I'm like, whatever. But I'm excited because Hush is one of my favorite Batman stories. One of my favorite stories in general.
Yeah.
It was cool to see the Superman and
see, my problem is I want it to be. I need to get everything I got from the comic. And then the guys who are writing the movie can add things.
Sure.
But I literally need everything that I got from that comic.
For sure. Well, it need to be 2 movies at that point. It's a lot of comic books.
It's true.
It's a lot of comic books. So we might be getting a very abridged version, but that's cool. I mean, Hush looked great.
Yeah.
Voice actor sounded great.
But spoilers, if you haven't read the Hush comic, please go read it. Come back in about a minute, or fast forward about a minute on here. But they need to keep the Jason Todd Clayface fit in there. If they don't do that, because
that's kind of the whole point.
I know that it's been retconned, since then, that Jason was involved in this and that.
Well, as far as the Hush story goes, that was the crux.
And it was amazing.
It was
cool. My God. That cliffhanger in when it's like, I'm an older Jason Todd, and he's got, Tim Drake by the throat with the batarangs. It's like, that moment, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait a month to see what happens next. It's one of the great cliffhangers of comics.
Oh, for sure.
Which we may talk about great cliffhangers in comics.
Yeah, there we go. No idea. I didn't get that excitement because you just threw the trade at me.
You got to read it back and back and back.
Boom, yep. So I didn't get that, unfortunately. But I can feel the excitement.
But you didn't put it down.
Nope.
Right. No. The Jason Todd reveal.
You gave me that in Identity Crisis same day. And I was up all night reading.
Oh,
I read them again.
Yeah.
Twice, one night. Both
Such
those
a
books.
good night.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm excited about it. I was hoping that they were gonna try to do a version of Jim Lee's art in an animated style. It's very much in the veins of how the last few
Killing Joke books. It's the same animators, obviously.
Yeah, it's very much in that vein, and it's fine.
It's fine.
But I really want, because Jim Lee's my favorite artist, so, and you guys got cool Jim Lee stuff, let's talk about it. I love it. He's my favorite artist by far, and I wanted to see kind of a animated action of his,
that'd be
his
great.
fighting. And that Superman Batman fight has got to hit all those notes too. The sonics, the ice, I opened a gas main. If I punch him again, the Kevlar. Yeah, the Kevlar only does so much. I need those moments because they were great. When I was reading them, like that book really solidified me getting back into DC
for sure.
Comics.
That was the boom. You're back into it. Back in the DC game. And arguably, you're only really loving DC at this moment as far as comic books.
As far as comics go, yeah, man. DC Comics is where it's at. They are far superior in every way to
what Marvel's
doing right now, and even in the last 10 years, I'd say. Now, don't get me wrong. When Marvel has a home run, it is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But DC's just consistent. So many of their books are just like, oh, that was a good read. I'm glad I read that.
Right.
Maybe not must reads, maybe not the best read, but just
it was cool.
An entertaining book. You don't feel like you wasted your money.
There you go.
Whereas you feel like you've wasted money on Marvel Comics time and time and time again. And I'm a Marvel guy through and through. I'm a DC guy through and through.
Yeah.
But I'm also a realist, and I understand.
Sure.
You know, the DC movies are not as good. The Marvel movies blow up the map, you know? They turn it on its head, and they do their thing. In comics, they do amazing things with comics. They do bad, and the thing is, they'll do stupid things, and they'll realize they've done something stupid, and they'll change it later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good.
You know, they'll stick to their guns because they put in the time and the effort, and then a few years later, they'll be like, okay,
we need to retcon this.
Oh, yeah, let's change this back, or change this to something else. And I can appreciate that.
But this, I'm excited for it. Yeah. Can't wait till it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Maybe they'll do something in San Diego, because I think it comes out in August, maybe?
I think it does. Yeah, maybe we'll see something at Comic-Con.
It would be cool if they did. They'll probably do a showing or something there. And I would love that. Hush is my favorite Batman story. So
go back to our Batman
80th
episode.
anniversary.
All of us talked about it.
Yeah. It's
at least the storyline or a character from there. But yes, it's amazing. If you haven't read this, go. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, go check it out.
Even if you're not a comic fan, because I wasn't nearly at all reading comics at all.
Yeah.
And please read this.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And it was amazing. You'll love it. Even if you don't like comics, it's just a good story.
It's a good story. It's a really good story. And it's, like I said, the thing that got me back into DC Comics, like, pretty hardcore. Jim Lee, Jeff Loeb.
Loeb's the man.
Yeah, he is the man. And then this week, May 13th, we did not know. I think that this was something that just was made up. But it was X-Men Day.
Yep.
X-Men Day.
X-Men Day.
If I could only collect one thing, it would be X-Men.
Yeah, I would. That's your favorite.
It's my favorite.
I mean, as a kid, that was your thing.
It's not as good as any Batman comic going on right now, any DC comic going on right now, but it is. I love the characters. I love the powers. I love the...
Well, you got the nostalgia value, because I don't know if you people know this, but I've known Roman for going on 25 years, and always loved X-Men.
Yeah.
Second grade, he had the folders, the binders with X-Men on it, so, yep.
So, yes, yesterday was X-Men Day. It's we're getting close to 20 years... Cinematically, since X-Men hit the screen.
Yep.
And, guys, I watched the first X-Men movie in theaters 12 times.
Yeah, you did.
12 times.
Yeah,
Blew my mind. I was young, okay? It does not hold up, obviously, but I was so excited.
You weren't there, man.
I bought the VHS the day it came out and skipped school to watch it. Okay? So...
I wish I could say he was lying.
I'm not lying.
He's not lying.
So I want you guys to know that they got my money, man. I'm in on this. So when we were seeing Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds and Sean Ashmore, all of these guys from the film franchises
acknowledging
X-Men Day,
it's
great. Know, it was really cool to see. It was really fun to see, like, them sharing some behind the scenes moments. Yeah. You know, artists and writers sharing their favorite moments from comics. It was very, very cool, and it kind of got me thinking, kind of on the cuff. What are some of what's a favorite moment or favorite moments from the X-Men franchise of films?
Films. It's going to have to be, and arguably it's going to be everyone's choice.
And in no particular order.
X2, Wolverine going berserk.
Wolverine berserk.
Berserker Rage in X2 is, I'm like, wow. Talk about actually getting the character.
We went to watch that together.
Yeah, we did.
At X2, and I had actually already seen it at that point, and I did not tell him about that scene. And right when this happened, I just leaned over in my chair and looked at him, and I was like,
my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah, it's.
I was like, this was something where you didn't get this a lot in comic book movies at this point.
Yeah.
They didn't.
There was no rage.
No.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa. I mean, because all we had at this point was him in the first X-Men movie, which, fine.
Yeah, Spider-Man 1.
And then Wolverine in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Which was, whatever.
Yeah.
This is the first time you see him. There's icing people, man.
Yeah, he kills
a bunch of people.
Stabs that dude into the fridge.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And it really was.
And then it made me hopeful for a Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
So I guess it was a double-edged sword there.
It was. Double-edged claws, my
There we
friend.
go. There we go, man. How about you? Do you have a favorite moment?
So I agree there with that. Some of my favorite stuff really comes from James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender.
Oh, right.
I really think that Fassbender, if I could only hold over a couple people from the X-Men universe, he's in that talk. Michael Fassbender as Magneto. He is arguably just one of my favorite actors right now. And
that scene in the bar,
in Brazil or wherever
in First Class is mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's so cool and makes me wish we would have got that Magneto Origins movie.
Yeah.
Man. Because it's him just hunting Nazis. I could watch that.
Yeah. Eric Lindner, Nazi Hunter.
Come on, man. Yeah, totally, man.
Because, and I love X-Men. I've read almost every X-Men comic. I don't remember a series where he's hunting Nazis.
No.
And I think that it makes sense. And I'm sure he was. And I know that they do make reference of it, but give me a mini-series of him hunting Nazis.
Totally.
Him going to Brazil, him doing these things. I would be totally down for that. So, yeah, bar scene, I could agree with you there.
Nightcrawler in X2.
Nightcrawler and X-Men 2 in the darn White House. Oh my gosh, that scene is amazing.
It's that and the Berserker.
What a way to open a movie.
Oof. I mean, for a minute there, Bryan Singer was like my favorite director.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. How did you shoot this?
Yeah.
How did you conceptualize this? This is
still looks good.
It still looks
good.
Still holds up.
Still looks good. What else is good from the movies?
I mean, we're all going to be basically saying X2.
Yeah, it's a lot. X2 is still, I think, the superior.
It holds up all
X-Men
right.
movie.
I mean, First Class
is better film.
Good.
It's a better film because the story's better.
Sure.
And
Days.
I love Days.
I love Days of Future Past. I even like the Road Cut.
Yeah. Oh, the Road Cut's I think superior.
It is cool.
I think it should have been in there. I really didn't ever find out exactly why they cut so much of Anna Paquin out of it.
Yeah.
Because it helped make the movie even make more sense.
Sure. Totally.
There's just a couple things from the movies. I think that possibly on an anniversary of the comics, we'll get more into that.
Yeah, definitely. This was just a quick, we just were like, wow, it's X-Men Day.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, who knew? It seemed like it was a shock
man.
to everybody.
Yeah.
What about a comic book moment for you? An X-Men comic book moment?
Oh man.
I can go if you want.
You go first.
Wolverine getting his adamantium ripped out in Fatal Attractions. It was something that never crossed my mind that could happen. And when Magneto did it, it was just so cold. And it was like, he basically says something to the effect of, after all of our fights and all, I've never done anything out of respect for who you are.
Right.
And Xavier. And, he's just like, I'm done.
I'm done with this.
Then, oh my God.
Yeah, if Jean Grey wasn't there.
Yeah, he's a mess.
Done.
He's a mess. He dies. He actually dies. That's a great moment.
For me, it's probably just not my favorite X-Men moment. It's probably one of my favorite moments in comic books is the an astonishing X-Men Kitty Pryde in the Bullet.
Oh God, Kitty Pryde in the Bullet.
Yeah, that's it's kind of choking me up right now.
Chokes me up.
If you haven't read this, Josh Whedon's run on Astonishing X-Men, you have to read it. And just Kitty's sacrifice is insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sums up that character.
She's in this basically a projectile, a giant bullet sent from another planet. Sounds ridiculous, but it's very cool.
It's very cool.
It's made of this alien metal. and she's been affected by this metal a little bit, so it's hard for her to actually phase through it. She says it feels like she's phasing through like mud or quicksand. And she's stuck in it, and this bullet's coming for Earth. These aliens who have sent it have essentially taken out the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men who are there. They basically put them in like a trance so they can't, like they see themselves stopping the bullet, but they're not moving. They're just like in a telepathic trance.
Yeah.
And this bullet's coming. They can't stop it. Kitty's stuck inside of it. She can't get out. And she puts her hand on it from the inside, and she says, God, give me strength, and phases the bullet through the Earth.
Yeah.
And it's drawn beautifully, and it was just such a strong and powerful moment. And she phases through, and the bullet just keeps going. Like, she's stuck in the bullet.
Yeah, she can't stop, and she's just adrift in space, and...
To that point, when Magneto rescues her from the bullet.
That's cool.
A few years later.
For sure.
Really, really good.
That was a good scene too.
He's trying to help the X-Men. They don't trust him, so he goes like on this mountain and he starts meditating, and he's obviously projecting magnetic energy, and the X-Men can't get to him. They don't know what he's doing, and you're just seeing him. He's bleeding from his nose and his eye sockets, and then like the bullet's coming back to Earth. And they don't know what to do. They don't know if he's trying to bring it there to like destroy the planet. Like, oh, you guys didn't want me to be on your team. Well, there's gonna be no team. And he ends up just ripping the bullet apart and bringing Kitty back. Oh. And it was so good. And in his kind of euphoric stupor from using all of this power to bring her back, he speaks in German.
Yeah.
And he says something along the... Literally, I was reading it, and I didn't know what he said in German, and there was a German-speaking person in the comic book store I work at. And I was like... He was like, what? I told him what was going on. I was like, yeah, this is German. He's like, oh, I know German. And it was... And I can't remember exactly, but it was like, welcome home, child, or something like that in German. It was awesome.
That is so cool.
That's a great moment.
Dark Phoenix saga, the whole thing, watching a... tried and true, amazing character we've come to love through the years become corrupted.
Yes.
How cool is that? And we get that awesome Imperial Guard fight with the X-Men, and
this metaphor for a girl next door kind of losing control.
Yeah.
Kind of, I'm not who you thought I was.
Right.
I have a dangerous side, and and just a very good game of like who we are in our own heads.
Sure.
And what can influence us, what happens when we indulge those darker sides. Yeah. And this movie coming out in a few weeks,
we'll see.
Is not going to do it justice, but it at least looks a little bit better than the last thing that we got in X3, which, if we're going to talk about good moments, talk about bad moments. X3.
X3 all over.
X3 as a whole, man. It was just like a huge slap in the face to like
the
everything.
Only good thing out of that was Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer was fantastic.
That was the only redeeming part of that movie, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
I didn't like this de facto Wolverine and Storm leading the X-Men because at that point they both weren't very strong.
No. Wolverine didn't even want to be a leader.
No.
Even in the second movie, he showed like traces of it, saving the children.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was more about survival, not like, oh, I'm taking up the mantle.
Yeah, they did Cyclops dirty and everything.
Well, because at this point, James Marsden wanted to go to Superman, correct?
He wanted to do both.
Oh, he did?
It seemed like it was somewhat spiteful, like, oh, well, we're going to kill your character regardless.
Oh.
So, I wasn't, X3 is terrible. X-Men Origins and the Wolverine aren't very good. Although the way the Wolverine ends is good.
It's cool, yeah.
It kind of sets up Days of Future Past, which was pretty awesome. I guess if we're talking about X-Men stuff, Logan's amazing.
That's just an amazing movie. That's up there with...
Transcends the genre.
Yeah, there you go. That's how I was feeling about Dark Knight 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think this movie will hold up more than Dark Knight.
I think so too.
You listeners of the podcast know that the movie does. We don't think the movie holds up very well. Yeah. Dark Knight. Yeah. So I think that's a podcast episode too. So.
Yeah.
Do you have a funny, lesser known X-Men?
Again, friend of the show, Casey Duke and I, we are big fans of a lesser known X-Men, Forget Me Not. He's basically a guy that lives at the school, and as soon as you basically turn around from talking to him, you forget that he's there. So it's kind of implied that he's integral in saving a lot of the X-Men missions, and they don't know because they can't remember him.
Is it Joe Biden?
Yeah, Diamond Joe Biden. I like that character. He's definitely lesser known. What about you?
I'm going with this guy named Extreme from the 90s.
Oh, God, yeah.
Where his blood is fire or something like that.
Uh,
He was the 90s, just dumped in a bag.
Yeah.
He had the backwards hat, the ears piercing, the mullet, the goatee.
Yeah, everything about it. There's definitely a dark age of X-Men comics.
Oh wait, I think his power was when he cuts you, he can turn your visible blood to fire.
Cool.
I think that's what it was.
Cool.
Because he's extreme.
Yeah.
He'll light you up, baby.
Yeah. It wouldn't shock me if that was a Rob Liefeld creation. Rob, I'm a fan of yours because you've been super cool to me, but let's call a spade, all right?
If that is, we're just speculating here, but it does have Rob written all over it.
Yeah, King of the '90s patch, the patch movement. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our show today. Thank you for coming with us on this journey. If you like what we're doing, please hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Hit the like button if you're listening on YouTube. We will do video down the road.
It's coming, kids.
Nowhere soon because I want to record someplace nicer than I can right now.
Yeah.
But we're going to
taking
get
it
there,
slow, baby.
especially once we get some more likes and subscribes.
And hit up our Instagram page, man.
Yeah, we got some things for sale.
Come
at
on,
REC
buy
Comics.
some cool stuff.
Yeah, check it out. Let's set up a dialogue. You can DM us some things that you might want us to talk about on the show. If you like your question or your suggestion, we'll read it. We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah.
And let's get interactive here.
Let's do it.
Eric, what did you learn on today's show?
I just really hate the Wolverine movies now.
Yeah,
I forgot how much I hated them.
And Hugh Jackman's fine in them, but the movies are just bad. The Wolverine, I actually can sit through if it was on and I was having vacuuming or rearranging stuff. I wouldn't turn it. I
Which
wouldn't
one?
turn
The
it.
first one or the second
The
one?
Wolverine.
Oh,
the second one.
The second one. Okay.
Yeah. The Wolverine does Japan, as it were, because he's jacked beyond all recognition
he
in
worked
that
out
one.
for that one. Yeah.
I like the bear scene
That's
when he kills the hunters and fights the hunters. I like that scene a lot.
Well, real quick, another cool part of that movie was that woman whose power she could predict your death.
Yeah.
Just you're holding your heart in your hand.
Yeah.
She gave the ending to Logan away.
Yeah.
He's holding
X-23.
Laura in his hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
I love it.
That was it, though. That was it. What did you learn today?
I learned that I may be too happy about things in general, and that I want a lot of happy endings. Like, literally, I would be very happy with my Game of Thrones ending, my theory, and I think a lot of people would be.
Oh, dude. You would save the show for me.
For you, but man, dude, so many people are enjoying the show. So
I want to know why. I want to know why.
And I think we'll be able to get there. Friends of the show who we have had roundtables with before, if you're listening,
Let's get
you better
this
be
going,
listening
man.
for sure.
Yeah,
but,
come on, guys.
But Andy, Dave, Jordan, Casey, you guys, we're gonna have to disseminate this end of.
Because I feel like
Thrones.
I'm the only one on the I hate it.
You
side.
hate it. I don't hate it. I'm
You're
just
like
disappointed.
There you go. You're not. You're kind of a good liaison.
Yeah.
Between the two of us.
Yeah, I think I can see both sides. All right, guys, that has been our show. Thank you for tuning in. I have been your host, Roman Chavez.
Still Erik and Roman.
And thank you for tuning in.